Another season into discovering the lost treasure of Oak Island. The crew has toiled tough, drilled, excavated, and researched numerous findings in the 11th season just to step beforehand inside the discovery of the buried treasures. Most of the operations had been a success and precisely what changed into wished. In the method, numerous other treasures and clues have been observed at the island soils. Some of the findings are implausible, and others will preserve you at the brink of your seat. What has been located to this point? Is it another step into unearthing the misplaced treasures? Stay as we adventure via the Pinnacle 20 Findings of Oak Island, Season 11. What has been observed up to now will preserve you amazed. Is it just number 20, ceramic ware on Lot 5? Fresh into a new episode and digging through the unexplored vicinity of Lot 5, the crew makes a discovery much like the Beyond, but with an awful lot extra complexion. It seems Lot 5 would possibly in reality now not be a house, however, a deposit location with features so just like the outline of the cache pit. While digging through the circular despair marked with stones via the island's original owner, Robert Young, who thought the round characteristic had a chunk of importance to it, digging to reveal the top of the rock characteristic, Fiona made an uncommon discovery. She observed damaged pieces of pink earthenware caught to the rock layer. It turned into distinct from those previously located. It had a purple glaze at the rim and a darkish glaze at the indoors. When found through Laird, observed it to be as historic because the 1600s, because of its utilitarian functions. Laird confessed to not having or available in touch with such an historic ceramic artifact at some stage in his career. Historically, redware changed into a pottery used to transport goods and materials in Europe and North America at some stage in the 17th and 18th centuries. Since its origin can be traced and is stated to have passed off before the Money Pit vicinity, then its existence and the digging of the round feature are questionable. The discovery of the redware is a clue that despite Lot 5 being deserted for decades, there was a duration, properly before the 1760s, while it became a residential region. After numerous moments of careful digging, another ceramic piece became found. However, this time it became a lot thicker than the preceding. Laird recognized this piece to be coarse earthenware, probable to be tons older than the utilitarian and in a far better condition. While these ceramics give a clue, it might be tons extra tough to discover all of the portions that make it entire and use them in figuring out the sports that came about on Lot 5. Number 21, iron latch yards. Far away from circular characteristic, which leads the viewer to imagine a crazy multi-layered ceramic cage, is an accurate demonstration of iron latch. While reminiscing about the Beyond and the unexplored findings, Gary determined to check the presence of iron, the use of the detecting system. And from the consistent beeping, it appears the round feature has a lot of iron concentration, in spite of being buried too deep in the floor. It appears the handiest way to reach the iron artifacts is the apparent continuous digging. A year returned, a large steel presence became detected on a strong lump of soil within the circular characteristic. Deciding to investigate the metal hit from the ultimate season, Laird dug through the solid lump and observed a metallic protected in hardened clay. When dusted, the object resembled a metallic latch for a cellar, or a lure door. It does no longer seem like a coincidence for ceramic wares and a latch to be determined within the same regions. By speculation, it seems the round area was not fashioned through natural reasons, but changed into a deliberate production made via human beings, perhaps even the unique depositors of the buried treasure. As its miles, it seems that the circular depression became built to hide something away from other human beings' suspicion, and that it has burned hyperlinks that would provide access to something is hidden underground. To have extra details at the artifact, it became taken to the investigative center, and in step with a record from Emma after undertaking a CT experiment, the picture presented was a whole lot clearer. The group concepted to be a door knocker or created to be pushed into a person it unlocks. According to Laird, his observations factor to the artifact being a river raft spike with the excessive amount of iron and might have been used for more than one functions. Its origin definitely dates again to the pre-1840s, and while as compared with different iron artifacts located at the island, and from Sir William Phipps's treasure creditors, it turned into no longer similar to the artifact from the island. However, it did fit at once over 100% with the William Phipps artifacts, acquired from Frank White, an Oak Island story follower and collector of artifacts from William Phipps's website online. When taken to a blacksmith professional, Carmen Legg, for his opinion, it turned into determined to be carried out form of wedge, approximately 4 inches long and with a hoop around it. Carmen also said that the iron's thickness indicated this is quite antique, and from the picture of the CT experiment conducted through Emma, he said that the tool was no longer used again and again compared to those which were, and had mushroom heads as evidence of the way regularly it become used. Like other wedges, it was likely used to be driven into wood or rocks, however. Based on the activities that occurred at the island, it turned into used on wooden to bind logs collectively, maybe as a stopper for horses or as a fastener for carts. It additionally, maximum possibly, turned into used for steering heavy cargoes underground. Number 20. Underground the garden shaft. Episode 7. A second track that the crew had been looking ahead to, the Dumas contracting crew completed their creation of the shoe, and as an alternative, it within the tunnel, before they proceeded to climb in under the garden shaft. Exploring the garden shaft has been anticipated most probable for the reason that team commenced at the search for the treasure, and going onto it now makes all the tough work well worth it. 87 FT into the tunnel, brothers Rick and Marty Lagina, along Roger Fortin from Dumas Contracting Ltd., experience a never-ending shower that appeared to be coming from the soil inside the tunnel. The infiltration of water appeared coming from the right wall of the tunnel at 60 toes and beneath. To stop the leakage, Roger plans to make approximately 9 gaping holes in the wall and put a few urethane in it. This process is very much like grouting and need to be effective in preventing the flow. The urethane may be sprayed beneath strain, and its drying will seal the holes that motive rain within the tunnel nevertheless present process production. The production has made the crew closer to the tunnel that runs at once below the garden shaft and toward the baby blob. Despite not being at its complete period, the three have been at an area that had in no way been explored by using searchers, and attending to their target changed into seemingly simply beyond arm's reach. Aside from the never virtually forgotten treasure being of attain, another intention the group has executed is the construction of the horizontal shaft. The group additionally had geared up reviews of the precious substances examined inside the waters of the money pit location. A meeting becomes set up inside the conflict room with geoscientist Dar Ian Spooner, chemist Dar Mark Lukeman, and hydrogeologist Dar Fred Mitchell. According to Drew Lukeman, fluorescence testing became performed at the water for evidence of steel materials and for non-steel substances inside the water, consisting of wooden, different natural materials, and pottery. Fluorescence spectroscopy turned into use. Among the more than 1 boreholes dug inside the cache pit area, L16 had a distinct end result when examined. According to Ian, the borehole, while it's dug deep sufficient, opens right into a massive void. This is regarded to the team as Aladdin's cave. The borehole is also stated to have a very high first class of gold and the presence of natural materials, indicating that there's a wood shape, probable a tunnel internally. However, at that depth, the probabilities of locating timber are close to non-existent. Yet, here we are wondering the activities that led to it being possible. The obvious factor is that at one factor there have been human sports accomplished in the cave. Soon enough, the drilling of a brand new borehole, KL-14. 5 began with a mission to intercept L-16 and attain the center of Aladdin's cave. Once at an inexpensive intensity, the Tran plans on losing a definitive digital camera into it to have imagery of what goes on down there. At 153, the road hit a void with the intensity of 10 FT of open area, and abruptly, wooden, assumed to be the entrance to the tunnel, was found. Using the Inuktun Spectrum 120 excessive definition digicam, the crew journeyed deep beneath to research the hidden regions of the carven. At 104.2, the digital camera was within the cave, and with only a few inches of adjustments, a rectangular-headed bolt was seen on the pinnacle of layers of possible rocks or lump of sand. It is obvious that the bolt changed into, not certainly made, confirming that indeed human activities passed off within the Aladdin's cave. Dropping the digicam even further under, the overall view got here into sight, and it became found no longer to be lumps of soil or the ground of the cave, however, a facet wall or a few form of collapsing boulder. Why might a bolt be on the wall? Is it a few sort of lock to open the actual treasure chamber? The crew agreed on a sonar exam to be able to shed extra info on what became located. Number 19, Lot 5, Coin Collection. Episode 1, still within Lot 5 surrounding place, Rick and Gary cross on an investigative operation, attempting to check out flagged spots detected to be a steel goal. One makes use of the fashion detector system, whilst the alternative digs through and pulls out a portion of the soil within the marked location. Right into the second marked spits, the metal detector device alerted signs and symptoms of heavy and strong metal near the Earth's floor. After careful digging, Laird searched via the unearthed soil and located the supply of steel to be amidst the soil on his palms. Soon, sufficient. The metal became detected from the excessive pitched beep and discovered to be an historic coin. A very good begin for the start of a season. The coin in texture and traits, regarded to be just like the historical Roman coin observed inside some feet from the current spot. Several years ago, it regarded the coin was handcrafted, mainly gone through by way of the hammer. Soon after the primary coin discovery, any other changed into made some toes away at a one-of-a-kind flag spot. But this time around, the invention changed into a good deal easier and just like the first turned into additionally hand-hammered. From the pleasure of the discovery, Rick Lagina, known as his brother Marty Lagina, to come right down to the vicinity to proportion inside the exhilaration and also help inside the seek. After numerous trials, Rick made any other discovery, adding the 1/3 coin to the collection located on Lot 5 just at the start of the episode. The first coin changed into analyzed to have about 94% copper and 5% silver, one of a kill from the properties of Roman coins, that's tin and alid. This evaluation indicates that the first coin isn't always Roman originated, but nevertheless, it is very historic and has no capabilities or properties of cutting-edge made cash. It also has the drawing of a lady crafted to the center. However, but the crafted form additionally looks like a face. After undergoing the XRF, its homes were observed. The coin is made up of copper, silicone, LED, and tin, a exact fit to the historic Roman coins determined last season and maximum possibility, become delivered to the island by using Knight Templars or the authentic treasure depositors. While scanning the final coin, it seemed like the pattern on it turned into woven or a completely light and small chain hyperlink. When stipulated many of the team, it changed into idea to be made from brass, 95% copper, and 5% silver. A totally uncommon loquet with nearly no suggestions to its beginning till Emma adhered with the experiment. There was a property amount of brass detected. It additionally had iron and heavy manganese, which shows that it's miles extra modern than the rest of the cache observed.